Hey everybody, Donkey Storm here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Shadowlands pre-patch. We know Shadowlands is officially coming out October 27th, and the Shadowlands pre-patch, currently available on the public test realm, should be dropping several weeks before that, putting it on an any minute now timeline. In this video I'm going to go over some of the features of the upcoming pre-patch and give you my thoughts on what there is to do, whether or not this is going to be content you will enjoy. As always, please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to see more of my Shadowlands content down the line. Alright, let's do it. So first of all, you've got the level squish. Our current 120 levels are being boiled down into levels 1 to 50, and levels 50 to 60 will be Shadowlands content. So upon logging into the pre-patch, you'll see that your level 120 characters are now level 50. This applies to stats and item levels as well. All the numbers are going to be a lot smaller. And while we've had stat squishes before in the past, this is our first level squish. Truly, this doesn't have a huge effect on gameplay, and from a leveling perspective, you'll actually notice things are much faster. The entire leveling system has been streamlined. Upon making a new character, you'll have a choice between your racial starting zone or a place called Exile's Reach. Exile's Reach is a new area specifically for new characters where you play through tutorial-style quests and a very linear storyline. It's actually not a bad way to go for even experienced players. It's very linear and fast. Your character will leave the zone with a full set of armor that doubles as a pretty decent transmog set once you've completed all the quests. The downside to Exile's Reach is that if you choose this path, you're forced to level from 10 to 50 in Battle for Azeroth zones. If you're like me and you've leveled a lot of alts through BFA, you may be a little sick of that. If you choose your racial starting zone, you'll level there from 1 to 10 and then be given the choice of one expansion to level in from levels 10 to 50. So no more Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Kata or MOP, Draenor, Legion, BFA marathons for new characters. You only need to complete one expansion. I like this change from the standpoint that I feel like my alt is actually working through some period in WoW history instead of doing the first zone in every expansion as fast as I can. Additionally, you'll probably notice that your heirlooms are gone. Not to worry though, the new leveling system is much faster than even Winds of Wisdom 8.3 with heirlooms, and I'm already in the process of creating a new leveling guide for this new expansion, so keep an eye out for that. I've heard some concern about being able to solo old content for transmog after the squish, and I can confirm that this is not an issue. As you can see here, I zoned into Mythic Blackrock Foundry and blew up everything just as easily as I could currently do on live. So if you're trying to collect transmog sets in preparation for Shadowlands, no worries, you won't notice much of a change. The next big change you'll notice that definitely will affect gameplay is that all class ability and talent changes will be implemented. So whatever's changing about your class going into Shadowlands is going live with the pre-patch. This is prime time to test out changes happening to your favorite classes and specs and decide whether or not you like them, and making the decision of what you want to play going into the new expansion. So if you find yourself a nice target dummy to smash, or head into some current content and see how your character plays. Just remember the Heart of Azeroth, Azerite traits, and essences are all still active for the pre-patch, but will be going away as soon as we zone into Shadowlands, so this is not a 100% accurate feeling of what playing at level 60 is going to be like. One thing that will be similar to level 60 is the removal of corruptions. Yep, these are going to be gone with the coming of the pre-patch, so you will be getting a more realistic Shadowlands feel in that regard. Still, it's worth taking a look at, as these changes are certainly not irrelevant and fairly major for some classes and specs. If you want to learn more about class changes, you might want to check out some of the spec previews I've got right here on this channel. I may have already covered yours. Just remember guys, the pre-patch is balanced around level 60, not 50, so you can't put too much stock in things like DPS numbers you see before Shadowlands drops. Another big one that I'm personally really excited about are new character customization options for each race. There's some really cool improvements made to the character customization screen, and each race has a lot of specific things that can be changed. For example, orcs now have tattoos and war paint, night elves now have vines in their hair, worgen can customize their human forms as well as their worgen forms. Just a ton of new things for each race that can really level up the way your character looks and the transmogs that you use. This is really nice for some of the older races in the game, especially that needed a little freshening up to compare with some of those flashy new allied races. It's also a fun way to up your transmog game, and why not? Because we all want to go into Shadowlands looking our best, right? Obviously. To go along with this, the character creation screen, as you can see here, has gotten a nice looking makeover as well. Speaking of allied races, they're no longer going to require any rep grinding to attain. So if you've been wanting to make that Cold Terran but don't feel like putting in the hours of rep grinding to get there, you can finally skip over that part. While the small part of me that earned every allied race at release cringes a bit at this one, it makes sense not to force players to grind old content in order to play the race they want. On the topic of stuff we worked hard for it no longer mattering, Pathfinder achievements for Warlords of Draenor and Legion are also going away, so if you never earned flight in those zones but want to level in them, you'll no longer be penalized. Not that I'm salty or anything. So how about actual things to do in the game? There's a Shadowlands Quest event coming in the pre-patch as well. This will be a quest chain that includes the abduction of some important characters that takes us from our faction's capital city to Northrend and Icecrown, and culminates in some daily invasion events in Icecrown, which doubles as a catch-up gearing system for new characters. The items are equivalent to normal Ny'alotha level loot, so if you've kept up with BFA, they likely won't be a huge upgrade for you, but if you're planning on leveling a new tune through Shadowlands, it's probably worth your time to check this out. This is also going to add in a Scourge invasion event, similar to back in Wrath of the Lich King, and add in a Thanos Blightcaller as a world boss in Eastern Plaguelands. All in all, it's a good way to get into the lore of what's going on between BFA and Shadowlands, so if that interests you at all, I'd highly recommend doing it. Unfortunately, these quests have been taken off the PTR, so if you want to do them, you're going to need to wait for the pre-patch to go live. Another new system is the guide system. With the pre-patch, they'll be adding in a new newbie chat channel where new players can ask questions, and if you qualify to be a guide by having 2 of these 5 achievements, Terrific Trio, Rival for BFA Season 4, BFA Keystone Conqueror, Season 4, The Waking Dream, or We Have the Technology, you can sign up to be marked as a guide in the chat channel. Although I was able to sign up as a guide on the PTR, I wasn't able to find the newbie chat channel, so I'm guessing it either wasn't implemented yet or was simply inactive at the time. The changes being made to potions is going live with the pre-patch as well, so you can test it out before raiding in Shadowlands. Basically, Blizzard is putting health and combat potions on a 5-minute cooldown and allowing only 1 use per fight in an attempt to reduce the cost of potions on raiders, I guess. So, 1 potion per fight now on a 5-minute cooldown. So, as with every expansion, the coming of a pre-patch means the end of some things as well. All meta achievements like Ahead of the Curve and Cutting Edge will be gone for BFA, as well as achievements like Mad World and the Connected Mounts, Hertzlocker from Mechagon, all elite PvP sets will be unattainable, and your Mighty Caravan Brutosaur will no longer be obtainable as well. So if you plan on buying that thing, you better hurry up and farm that gold. So how about a release date? Well, we don't have an official one yet, but lots of people in the WoW community are hoping for a September 29th release, which is this Tuesday. Having kept up with the PTR, it feels like the pre-patch is pretty much ready to go, so I'm really hoping for that date as well. That gives us almost a whole month to try out class changes, level characters with the level squish, farm transmog with the new customization options, and gear new characters with the Icecrown quests. How about a little history lesson in pre-patches, shall we? The Burning Crusade pre-patch came out 6 weeks before the expansion released. The Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch came out 4 weeks prior to release. Kata pre-patch came out 8 weeks prior to release. MOP, 4 weeks. WAD, 4 weeks. Legion, 6 weeks. BFA, 4 weeks. So if the pre-patch doesn't come out this Tuesday, it would be by far the shortest pre-patch Blizzard has ever done. So if you like to think that history repeats itself, cross your fingers for that September 29th release date. So is the Shadowlands pre-patch going to be a groundbreaking moment in WoW history you can't miss? Not really. It's really just a nice set of quality of life changes in the game with a handful of new quests to do and an opportunity to try out some of the new changes coming to classes and specs. That said, I'm still looking forward to it, particularly to do some content with the new versions of my characters and see what new transmogs I can put together with some of the new character customization options. What do you think? Are you happy with what's coming along with the Shadowlands pre-patch? Wanted something more? Let me know in the comments below. You guys are always good at catching things that I miss. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Shadowlands content, check out some of my class guides or subscribe to my channel for more Shadowlands content coming in the future. Also keep an eye out for that 1 to 50 leveling guide as well, which I'll be spending the coming week trying out some different leveling methods with the Squish and seeing what works best for me. Well, until next time, this has been Donkey Storm, and I'll see you on the Shadowlands pre-patch.